Welcome, wanderers and seekers of wisdom. You've just discovered lost knowledge unlocked. Picture a hidden library filled with dusty tomes and ancient scrolls. Each page whispers stories long forgotten, waiting to be rediscovered. Here we journey through time, unveiling the mysteries of the past to illuminate our present. From the secrets of lost civilizations to the wonders of forgotten inventions, we unlock knowledge that has been hidden for centuries. Join us as we dive into the unknown, where curiosity leads the way and every discovery sparks a new adventure. Lost knowledge unlocked, where every story opens a door to a world of wonder. Subscribe now and let the journey begin. What if the most powerful guide to modern success was written 2,500 years ago on a bamboo scroll? Whether you're running a business, navigating conflict, building discipline, or just trying to stop sabotaging yourself, The Art of War by Sun Tzu may be the last book you'd expect, but the exact one you need. This isn't just about military strategy, it's about mastering the battle within and winning the war of everyday life. Let's unlock the lost knowledge of Sun Tzu and discover how to fight smarter, not harder. Sun Tzu was a Chinese general, strategist and philosopher who lived during the 5th century BC. His work, The Art of War, is one of the most influential books ever written, not just in warfare, but in business, sports, psychology and leadership. Sun Tzu's philosophy centers around achieving victory through superior strategy, intelligence and psychological warfare, often rendering actual physical battle unnecessary. He stressed the importance of knowing yourself and your enemy, anticipating moves and exploiting weaknesses while maximizing strengths. These principles are just as relevant today in the boardroom, courtroom and personal lives as they were on ancient battlefields. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. You've probably heard this quote before. It's one of the most famous lines from The Art of War, and for good reason. But what does it actually mean? And how can we apply it to our modern lives? First, let's talk about the enemy. In ancient China, this was pretty straightforward, a rival army. But in our world, your enemy might not be a person at all. It could be self-doubt, procrastination, a bad habit. That voice in your head telling you you're not good enough. It could be a rival at work, a toxic relationship, or even your own fear of failure. Sun Tzu understood that true victory starts with self-knowledge. Who are you in this equation? What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your blind spots? What triggers you? What motivates you? You have to be brutally honest with yourself here, because you can't strategize if you don't know what you're working with. Now, about that enemy. Once you understand yourself, you can start to understand what you're up against. What are its patterns, its weaknesses? What are its motivations? This isn't about becoming paranoid, it's about strategic awareness. Information is power. And the more you know about what you're facing, the better equipped you are to handle it. Take the time to understand yourself and your enemy. This isn't about warfare in the traditional sense, it's about strategic living. Victorious warriors win first and then go to war. Defeated warriors go to war first, then seek to win. Sun Tzu is telling us that true victory is often secured long before the first shot is fired, long before the competition even begins. It's about preparation, about strategy, about positioning yourself for success before the battle even commences. Imagine two armies preparing for battle. One army, let's call them Army A, spends its time training rigorously, studying the terrain, understanding the enemy's tactics, and formulating a detailed plan of attack. They are prepared for any contingency, any surprise. They are calm, confident, and ready. Now, let's look at the other army, Army B. They are less disciplined, less prepared. They rush into battle without a clear strategy, relying on brute force and hoping for the best. They are reactive, easily flustered, and prone to mistakes. Which army do you think has a higher chance of victory? It's clear, isn't it? Army A, the one that prepared, the one that strategized, the one that won the mental battle before the physical battle even began. This principle applies just as powerfully to our modern lives. Whether you're walking into a negotiation, launching a new business, or even just trying to have a difficult conversation with a loved one, preparation is key. If you're going in blind, reacting emotionally, hoping for the best, you've already lost. Take the time to plan, win the battle before it begins. Chapter 4. Be formless like water. Just as water retains no constant shape, there are no constants in warfare. Sun Tzu, always the poet-warrior, uses the metaphor of water to illustrate a profound truth about strategy. Rigidity breaks, fluidity wins. Water is adaptable. It can flow around obstacles, seep into cracks, and even carve canyons over time. It doesn't fight its environment, it becomes one with it. Imagine trying to punch water. What happens? Your fist goes right through, your energy wasted. Why? Because water doesn't resist. It doesn't meet force with force. It yields, it adapts, it flows around the obstacle. And in doing so, it often wins without even trying. This is the essence of Sun Tzu's teaching. Life, like warfare, is unpredictable. It throws curveballs. And if you're clinging to rigid plans, to fixed ideas of how things should be, you're setting yourself up for failure. This doesn't mean you shouldn't have a plan. But it does mean holding that plan lightly, being willing to adapt, to adjust, to pivot when necessary. Embrace the wisdom of water. Be adaptable. Chapter 5. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. This isn't about deception, at least not in the traditional sense. It's about strategic presence. It's about understanding that not every strength needs to be displayed. Not every card needs to be shown at the outset. Think about a poker game. Would you ever show your opponents your hand before the betting even starts? Of course not. You want them to underestimate you, to make assumptions about your position based on incomplete information. You want them to reveal their hand first, to make the first move so you can react strategically. Life, in many ways, is like a poker game. We're constantly sizing each other up, making judgments based on limited information. And Sun Tzu is reminding us that we have the power to influence those perceptions. This doesn't mean being fake or pretending to be something you're not. It's about choosing your moments strategically. It's about knowing when to hold back, when to conserve your energy, and when to reveal your full hand. Let your results speak for themselves. Let your actions demonstrate your strength. True power often whispers, it doesn't shout. Chapter 6. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. With this statement, Sun Tzu takes us beyond the physical battlefield and into the realm of the mind, the inner battlefield, where our thoughts, emotions, and impulses clash in a constant struggle for dominance. He's reminding us that sometimes the most formidable enemy we face isn't external at all, but internal. How often are we our own worst enemies? We sabotage our own success with self-doubt, procrastination, and negative self-talk. We let fear paralyze us, anger cloud our judgment, and impatience lead us to make rash decisions. These internal battles, these clashes within our own minds, can be far more debilitating than any external conflict. In today's world, filled with distractions, temptations, and relentless pressure, mastering this inner battlefield is more crucial than ever. We're bombarded with information, pulled in 1,000 different directions, and expected to perform at our peak all the time. It's exhausting. And if we're not careful, these external pressures can easily infiltrate our inner sanctum, wreaking havoc on our focus, our productivity, and our peace of mind. So how do we win this inner battle? It starts with self-awareness. We need to pay attention to our thoughts, our emotions, and our habitual patterns of behavior. The more aware we become of our internal landscape, the better equipped we are to navigate it effectively. Mastering the inner battlefield is about developing the mental and emotional tools to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life with grace, resilience, and a sense of inner peace. The greatest victories are often won not on the battlefield of conquest, but on the battlefield of the self. Chapter 7. So, we've journeyed through the ancient wisdom of Sun Tzu, explored his timeless principles of strategy, and discovered how they're just as relevant today as they were on the battlefields of ancient China. But how do we actually apply these principles to our modern lives? How do we take this ancient wisdom and turn it into practical, actionable steps for achieving victory in our own personal battles? Let's break it down. Remember, Sun Tzu emphasized the importance of knowing yourself and your enemy. In today's world, this translates to cultivating self-awareness and strategic awareness. Take the time to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your values, and your goals. Identify your enemies, those internal or external obstacles that stand between you and your desired outcomes. Once you have a clear understanding of the playing field, you can start to strategize effectively. Next, remember Sun Tzu's emphasis on preparation and planning. Don't just react to situations as they arise, be proactive, anticipate challenges, develop a plan. This doesn't mean you need to have every detail mapped out, but it does mean having a clear direction, a set of goals, and a strategy for achieving them. Now, about that adaptability. Life is unpredictable. Things change. Be like water. Be flexible. Be willing to adjust your plans, to pivot when necessary, and to embrace new information as it arises. The art of war isn't about destruction, it's about mastery, precision, grace under pressure. It's about learning that the smartest warrior is the one who wins without ever needing to fight. This ancient book isn't dusty knowledge, it's a blueprint for the modern strategist. So, what battle are you facing? Let us know in the comments. And remember, knowledge is only power if it's applied. Hit subscribe for more ancient wisdom made practical for the modern mind and the modern world. If you don't like mainstream stories but love hidden truths, then hit subscribe and join us. Welcome to Lost Knowledge Unlocked. Here, we delve into history's forgotten corners and uncover hidden gems from science and philosophy. If you've enjoyed our journey today, don't forget to like and comment below. Now, for the real treasure, hit that subscribe button. Stay curious, stay open-minded, and join us in our quest to unlock the world's lost knowledge. And remember, every like, comment, and subscription helps us bring more untold stories to light. Keep exploring, and let's unlock the secrets together.